my name's Max and this is 999 Laser. You are about to witness a 22-year-old CR500 open a can of whoop-ass on a full field of modern four-strokes. How is that possible? Well, make sure you watch to the end to find out. This is a bonus piece of bite-sized awesomeness with unseen footage taken from our For the Love of Two Stroke series, which you can see in full using the link down below. Before the gates drop though, we need to say a quick thanks to our sponsor. Racing a CR500 and doing stuff like this requires a big set of balls. And a big set of balls need the right kind of care. That's where Manscaped can help. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. This means that you can expect the best products made from the best materials to give you the best experience possible. Manscaped hooked me up with the Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner. You can get all of this plus a replenishment of your favourite product and a new blade for your trimmer every 3 months when you sign up to the Peak Hygiene Plan. Plus, for a limited amount of time, you get 2 free gifts, the Shed Towel Bag and the Manscaped Boxer Briefs. Manscaped is way more than a ball trimming company. They have a full collection of products for your hair, nail and body. So head over to manscaped.com today to get 20% off, free international shipping and your 2 free gifts when you use our promo code at manscaped.com. Your balls and body will thank you. Thanks again to manscaped.com for sponsoring this video. Now it's time for the gate drop. So the MX1 class warriors are getting lined up for the third and final moto of the day here at Boriston for round 1 of the 2020 AMCA Championships. Neville Bradshaw and that big red CR500 have steadily improved throughout the day, going 5-3 in motos 1 and 2. What can he do here in the third and final moto? We're about to find out. It looks like it's a great jump for Neville Bradshaw on the CR500. He leads the pack into turn 1. 272 in the lead. Oh no! James Dodd on the number 3 machine quickly into the leading spot. So it's James Dodd, then Neville Bradshaw on the CR500 in second place. But what a start for Big Red. By far the best he's had all day. Can the impossible happen here in the third and final moto? Can Big Red get a race win? As we said, by far the best start for Neville Bradshaw here today. And he's going to sniff the opportunity for sure. James Dodd leads the race at the moment, Bradshaw second, and Tommy Alba sits in third early on. And just look how rough, rutted and gnarly this Boriston circuit is here for the final moto of the day. We had some wet weather coming into the weekend and a couple of rain showers throughout the day, but the track has held up very, very well. Tacky in most places, with some boggy sections like this bottom corner here, but overall the track in great shape. Some great conditions for the CR500 to show us what she's made of. And in this race, Neville Bradshaw put his money where his mouth is and shown everyone what the CR500 is capable of. 22 years after it was first came off the production line, this bike is currently sitting in a top 3 position. Absolutely incredible stuff from the bike and from Neville Bradshaw. Dodd leads Bradshaw, Alba and Corey Southwood in top 4. Then it's Josh Waterman, Ashley Greeley and the rest of the pack come charging through. So as the first lap draws to a close then, Dodd still leads. Bradshaw now has Corey Southwood all over his rear wheel, so Bradshaw's got to be careful as the number 44 Kawasaki is on the move, on the charge. Southwood has made a pass on Albert to move into that third place spot, and now he's hunting down Big Red and Neville Bradshaw. In turn, Bradshaw's all over the back of James Dodd. So Bradshaw has responded to the attack from Corey Southwood with his own attack on James Dodd, the race leader. The race is well and truly on here in this third and final moto. As we say, Neville Bradshaw is trying to do the impossible here today. Nobody thought that this 22-year-old CR500 would be this far up the pack here, especially not Neville Bradshaw. But this is a true underdog story, and everyone here at the venue today is cheering on Bradshaw and the CR500. What can he do in this final moto? He's charging hard, chasing down James Dodd, all over the rear wheel of the race leader at the moment. Oh, but look at this! Corey Southwood, the number 44 Kawasaki, sneaks up the inside, makes a pass to Neville Bradshaw and moves into second place. So Southwood takes over the second place spot, and now he attacks James Dodd. Goes around the outside of the off-camber, and Southwood makes the move into the lead. So the 44 Kawasaki is a new race leader. James Dodd relegated into second, and Bradshaw back in third. Tommy Albert still lurking there in fourth place, so the top four is very, very tight at the moment. Now Bradshaw, if he wants to win this race, he's going to have to make a move on Dodd. Sharpish, because he can't afford to let Corey Southwood run away with the race lead, stretch open that gap at the front of the field. So Bradshaw's going to have to put the hammer down here. Makes the outside line. On the gas. Side by side, bar to bar with Dodd. Bradshaw around the outside, he makes the pass stick into second place then. Neville Bradshaw is second place. He made that move on James Dodd. A stellar move by Neville Bradshaw to take over second position. And now his sights are set on the new race leader, Corey Southwood. So a nice move from Bradshaw puts him into second position. And his sights are once again set on the race lead. Bradshaw just shown us the power of Big Red there, making that move around James Dodd and that CR450. Now Bradshaw is looking to chase down the KX450 of Corey Southwood. "22 years between these two bikes, 22 years difference in technology and development." But Neville Bradshaw shown us just how good this CR500 was when it was first produced back in 1998. The bike that Bradshaw's riding here today may be older than some of the races in this class. That just goes to show how impressive this performance is. As Big Red sits second place, we're about a third of the way through the moto. Bradshaw's still got plenty of time to pull the trigger and see if he can make a move for the race lead. But currently Southwood looks strong at the front of the pack. He's opened up quite a gap there. Oh, but actually a small mistake from Southwood has allowed Bradshaw to close back in slightly. Within a handful of bike lengths now, so Bradshaw can most definitely sniff the race lead. He's going to start believing that the impossible is indeed possible. The belief is in Bradshaw now. You can tell from his body language that he's fired up and ready to go. He's determined to make this happen, to do the impossible here at Morrison. put the CR500 on the top step of the podium. Look how close he is now. The line choices from Bradshaw are phenomenal. And just look how much closer he is on Southwood now. As we say, Bradshaw using his years and years of racing experience to pick out the best, the most efficient lines here. Oh, but a slight mistake from Bradshaw actually. He looks down at the brake pedal. He had some issues earlier on in the day. The deep ruts caused issues with the brake pedal. And it looks like he might have experienced another one of those issues just now. He's back on the gas. So Bradshaw's back on the gas. Looks like he's recovered nicely. Recovered from that small mistake, but he has lost ground on Southwood. He's going to have to work twice as hard now to close down that gap. Make up that time he's just lost to Southwood. He's going to have to do it all over again. And now he's got the likes of Josh Waterman and Ashley Greedy on his tail. So Waterman and Greedy have moved up through the pack, past Albert and past Dodd. So Waterman is now third, Greedy fourth. They are two danger men in this class for sure. Still, it is Southwood leading, Neville Bradshaw second. Cam Bradshaw closed the gap down once again. Bradshaw has improved steadily throughout the day, as we said, going 5th in Moto 1, 3rd in Moto 2. If he carries on that kind of progression, there's only one place that he wants to finish in this Moto, and that is on top. So the race leaders have some lap traffic to contend with now. Will these lap riders come into play? Will they affect the outcome of this moto? So far so good for our race leaders, getting through the traffic swiftly. It's Bradshaw tickling the power of Big Red around these tight sections of the track. Before he opens up the gas to let the big girl feed. Bradshaw slowly but steadily closing in on the rear wheel of Southwood then. He is much closer this lap around for sure. So riders charge up the hill and back into the main arena of this Boriston circuit. More lap riders to deal with for Southwood and Bradshaw. Southwood through cleanly. As is Bradshaw as he leaps down the step down. Through the boggiest part of the track, the gnarliest section. Bradshaw is certainly closing in the gap now, that is a fact. Once again, he can sniff the impossible, he can taste the impossible. The seeds of the dream are grown in his mind. This might just be possible for Big Red and Neville Bradshaw if he can make a pass on Southwood and if he can hold off the hard-charging Ashley Greedy, who now sits in third place. Remember, Greedy is a fierce rival in this championship. He has a well-earned reputation for being a rider who will give everything in order to win. So, Greedy is going to be a man to watch before this moto is out, for sure. So Bradshaw all over the rear end of Southwood again then. A couple of laps after that mistake that cost him some valuable time, Bradshaw is back in the position where he can start looking for a possible place to pass. Tries to stay out the routes. He is looking for a smooth line, an efficient line, somewhere where pass could be possible. So lead and pair making their way down to the lowest point of the circuit. Bradshaw is close now. Bradshaw on the gas on Big Red. He charges up the hill. He launches side by side with Southwood now. Here comes Bradshaw up the inside. And he's made the pass stick. Neville Bradshaw and the Big Red CR500 are the new race leaders. Bradshaw shakes his head, can't believe it. He is in the race lead on this 22-year-old CR500. So Bradshaw now commands the race lead. The Big Red CR500 leads the pack. The impossible is unfolding before our eyes. Nobody thought this was possible coming into the race today. But once again, Neville Bradshaw has proven us all wrong. He leads the pack ahead of Corey Southwood and Ashley Greedy. Everybody here at the circuit today hanging over the fence for Neville Bradshaw and the CR500. They want to see the impossible. We want to see the impossible. Everybody wants to see this happen. Bradshaw's going to have to defend though because Southwood is on the counter-attack. Ashley Greedy is right there also. Bradshaw keep it cool, calm and collected to bring this home. Got about a third of the race left. And this is going to be the longest few minutes of Neville Bradshaw's season, that's for sure. So Greedy now into second. He's made the move on Southwood. So the danger man Ashley Greedy is now the rider hunting down Big Red and Neville Bradshaw. So Bradshaw's got to be careful. He's got to be cautious. He's got to keep an eye on the hard charging Ashley Greedy, whilst also continuing to focus forward and keep his mind on the job at hand. And that is bringing Big Red home with the race win. Hear the crowd cheering on Bradshaw now. As we said, they want to see this happen just as bad as Bradshaw wants to make it happen. Bradshaw can hear that Husqvarna 450 all over his rear wheel now. Ashley Greedy is lurking, ready to pounce if and when Bradshaw makes a mistake. So Bradshaw's going to have to make sure these last few laps are perfect. So the leading pair are charging towards the final few laps of this race. This is intense for Bradshaw and for the fans watching at the track. Everybody in this venue is holding their breath right now. Can the impossible happen? Are we about to witness a miracle here from Neville Bradshaw and Big Red? He looks over to see Ashley Greedy right there. So Ashley Greedy could be the spoiler here today. he could be the man to upset things. And he is no stranger to being that guy, of course. Greedy's reputation as a ruthless racer, fierce racer, follows him wherever he goes. Everyone knows he's not afraid to put in a hard block pass if a race win is on the cards. Right now, the 33 machine is all over Bradshaw, all over the rear wheel of the CR500. But can Bradshaw defend? Can he fend off the attacks from Ashley Greedy? So far, so good. More lap traffic to deal with for Bradshaw. Quickly pass that rider there. No problems. A couple more to deal with just ahead. So here come the leading pair then. It is as close as ever between the two. Greedy right there on the rear wheel of Bradshaw. So it's going to be an intense finish. Bradshaw takes the last lap flag, so 1 lap to go for Neville Bradshaw, 1 lap to go for Big Red, 1 lap to go until the possible has been proven possible. If and only if Bradshaw can hold on to the race lead for 1 more lap. It's going to have to be a perfect lap for Bradshaw because Greedy is there. Greedy is ready to pounce, and Greedy will take any chance he gets. So it's going to have to be an inch perfect lap for Neville Bradshaw and the CR500, which is much easier said than done on a beast like this. So far, so good for Bradshaw there, about half a lap to go as he charges up the hill for the final time. He launches into the main arena. He's got some back markers just ahead of him to deal with in this last half lap. Bradshaw looking strong, looking confident. He believes that the impossible can happen. He knows the impossible can happen, and he's going to make it happen in about a quarter of a lap. He deals with that back marker quickly. He continues on his way, charging hard, taking Big Red home. So a handful of corners left for Neville Bradshaw then. We're moments away from witnessing a miracle, from witnessing the impossible. Nobody thought this would be a possibility here today. Nobody, not even Neville Bradshaw, thought that a race win could be within his grasp. But he is 1 corner away from making that happen. Here he comes, Big Red, over the tabletop for the final time. And the checkered flag is out for Neville Bradshaw and the CR500. He does it. The impossible has been proven possible. This 22-year-old CR500 has climbed the top step of the podium, and Neville Bradshaw has done it. What a bike and what a rider. What a man, what a man.
There's something special, eh?
I was at the finish, like next to the finish, and he came across, like I screamed so loud. How pumped were you for that?
Just like, it's something that, how many people can say that they've raced at that level and won in the 500? That's why I was playing with the 125 class, but everyone's on 125, I thought, how cool would that be? And just to start, I ripped the biggest hole, it was so sick, and then...
yeah, you had to work for it, you didn't like rip the hole and then...
I got passed early. but I got like, as you guys know, like I struggle with cramping, and already on the second lap I started cramping. So I thought, let me just calm down, and then got into like a rhythm. And then when I knew the wind was there, I was like, we're gonna go for it. But I know I can go 20 minutes though. That's what I said about the coronavirus. Like I trained every single day, so I'm at a good place now. So I might as well race, you know. So, dude, how sick is that? To win a moto on a 500, 22-year-old guy.
Start of the day, you said 6 to 12 you'd be happy with. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect.
Mate, that's insane. After qualifying, like I knew when I've been practicing, I could run the pace. But obviously, like this, dude, you've seen the state of this track. This is a savage track, and when you're racing on a 500, it's a lot different. You know, the brakes. The biggest thing I find is the brakes. Like I have some sketchy moments where I want to turn and use a brake, and the brake's not sharp enough to actually turn, so you end up going over the ruts. But so sick, dude. Like, that was mega. That was sick.
How awesome was that? If you want to see the full episode, click right here. And if you want to see the full series, click right there. As always, thanks for the support, guys. I've been Max. This has been 999 Laser. Remember to like, share, subscribe. And if you always watch until the end of the episodes, make yourself known in the comments down below, and you might get a shout out next time around. But until then, I'll see you at the track.